Hey everyone, hey everyone, hey everyone. Look who we got with us today. We have Ian back from Purgatory, and we have Jason, South Benevolent, ready to go to bed.
What's up,
So it's a
guys?
late stream, and we have some interesting stuff to talk about. Let's say hi to our buddy Jason first. Jason, how's it going? Thanks for staying up with us.
Good. It always good to hang out with you guys. So, finished a very exciting weekend of dusting everything I own. So, the room looks clean for at least 5-10 minutes or so.
For 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, cool. And Ian, how's it going?
Good, good. Yeah, just dashed back from my daughter's elementary school graduation.
Oh,
Baba Yaga.
Yeah, it was fun time. But yeah, it's crazy in Japan. Like they go crazy with all that stuff, man. It's like I don't think I've seen someone bow so many times as the head teacher. Like he gets off the stage, he bows, he then sits down, he gets up again, he bows to everyone. Everyone stands up, he bows, then they sit down, and he gets on the stage and he bows, and it's like, my God.
it's the
very
worst.
yeah, it's very
It's the
Japanese.
worst. Yeah, it's awful. I don't go to them. They're awful.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go to my kids' ones, but like the school ones, I don't go.
It's funny, they have a group photo and they say all the dads stand at the back, so they're the tall ones, and I'm like, I'm not standing at the back. No one will see me.
You should wear a uniform. You'll blend right in.
I was with all the mothers.
Yeah, I'm usually the tallest one, so
Yeah,
I'm tall by like
yeah,
half a head or so, or even a head. Depends
I'd imagine. Yeah.
depends on the thing. So we have. Oh, wait a second. Somebody's.
Al's good to go.
I think
Yeah, Al is good to go. Sorry about that, Al. How's it going, Al?
Yo. Hello. How's it going?
Hey, buddy.
Thanks for joining Al and Jason. It's past their bedtimes, but they're staying up with us, which is good.
You
Yeah,
said
this is,
toys, so here we are.
Magic word. Yeah.
This is the
I'm
new
the
Kaiju Daddy.
irresponsible toy buyer.
This
What's
is the new Kaiju Daddy after hours special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just go into the comments and see who's with us so far. We got Dorothy Gale. She's got a question. We'll get to the question in a bit. The Goblin Kid, not available in the USA, folks. Yeah, these aren't available anywhere but Japan. For the MAFEX and the Figuart stuff, these are exclusive to Japan all the time because they don't have the license to sell them outside the country. Now, they do make their way outside the country when you buy them off of Japanese retailers. The only difference with these figures that we're talking about tonight is that these are, at least these Medicom ones, these are event exclusives. I have to talk to the people at Medicom and try to get a lowdown on whether or not these will be available in the store after. But we'll figure it out. We'll find out. And as soon as I know, I'll let people know and we can kind of proceed from there. But if these are available at only the event, now Ian and I are going to the event. There is a possibility that it might be one per person.
Yeah.
If we can get more than one per person, I'm sure Ian will help out for the group. And maybe we can waffle some off because we can't just pick people indiscriminately and say, all right, I'm going to hook you up or I'm going to hook you up. That's kind of the point of the waffle, trying to make things available to everybody, give everybody an opportunity or a chance. But we'll figure out how we're going to do the waffle later on. It really just depends on how many we can buy and so on. So again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But moving along, we got the collector who's still awake. He wants his Monopoly money back. Can't do it. Sorry. And yeah, man, we got a live stream. We try to do a live stream every time they drop some Medicom toy announcements. They drop 5 sort of overnight, which again, who are these marketed to? You know, they got the license for Japan. They dropped the celebration things at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning Japan time. Same with the Batman and the Flash reveals. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird setup. So how tall am I in feet? I am 6 feet. I guess, I'm old, so I'm shrinking. I guess at this point, maybe I'm like 6'3", 6'2", 6'3" ish. How tall are you, Jason?
Just a hair under 5'11".
Al?
Oh,
I've
I'm
always
not tall at all. I'm like 5'6".
Jesus, man, I'm surrounded by little people here. I'm not gonna ask Ian. I don't want to embarrass him, but we'll just keep going.
I'm not that far off. What are you on about?
So, all right, it's 10 o'clock, 10:10. It's 10:15 now, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So let's get into it.
Let
Let me bring up what we got, and we'll try to get through this in under the hour. So anybody who's watching the stream later, we'll try to hopefully answer as many things now in real time, so you guys will get your questions answered without even being here. So we have our celebration exclusives. We'll start off with the Mandalorian. This seems to be the same as the 2.0 in terms of the body, but we'll get to that in a moment. But the big reveal with this is the chrome. Now, Hot Toys did a chrome version, which is pretty cool. I never picked it up. I wish I did. I never did, but so it seems that Medicom is putting out their chrome version. I think it looks really cool. It's nice to have like a vac metal chrome look in this scale because we don't really get it anymore. We used to get it a lot in the 80s. They went overboard and then they just sort of stopped doing it. But I think it looks great. We'll talk about the price later on, but just in terms of aesthetics, I think it looks great. Let's go around the horn. We'll start with Jason. Jason, what do you think about this?
I mean, to me, it looks exactly the same as the 2.0, but that is pretty armor on it. It looks nice. I'm trying to see.
I have a comparison. We'll look at the both of them later, but just in terms of the look on this, are you
great.
in on this?
I am tempted. Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
So it's a maybe.
It's a definite maybe. I'm curious to see what else he comes with.
Okay. It doesn't come with much.
Yeah, well, we'll look at the differences later.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Now, Ian, you're going to get this, right?
I'll get it. It's a tough one for me, all of these, because it's like I did say that I wasn't going to collect Star Wars 1/12, only 1/6, and that was my strict rule. I sold, I'm getting rid of my Black Series. I've got all the figure arts all boxed up there. But yeah, like this one, I do have the Chrome Hot Toys just to my left here. So it's not really necessary for me, but I mean, it's an exclusive. It's shiny. It looks cool, and yeah, I'm huge Mando guy, so I will get this for sure.
Okay. And Al, are you going to try to get this?
I don't think so. I mean, it looks good. I do like that shiny, vac metal look too, and it obviously makes it kind of look more show accurate, as you can say. But just like the Hot Toys version, I ended up getting the Beskar, Mandalorian, and Grogu set, and of course, like a year later, they announced the Chrome version. But as good as it was, I didn't feel like it was needed for me to upgrade to that Hot Toys. I was perfectly fine with the one I had. And I do have the MAFEX 2.0 as well, and I think that figure is awesome. Comes with a lot of stuff. And with this being a limited figure, there's 3 figures that we're going to talk about here. This being one, I'm more interested in the other 2. And if I can only pick a few of the 3, my first choices are going to be the next we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like they fixed the cape.
So the cape looks different. We'll get into that in a moment. The cape does look different. But the helmet, I mean, look at that sheen on that, and even the jetpack.
The only issue is that there's no weathering on it, which the Hot Toys does have weathering.
It's hard to do though, especially at this scale.
Yeah.
So these are the accessories. So there's no head sculpt.
Mhm.
Seemingly there's no Grogu, which is kind of baffling. They did put him in the promotional photos.
Yeah.
But he does come with that Beskar spear. He comes with the dark saber. He comes with his pistol and his jetpack and you know, the blast off effects. But I'm gonna get this. I'm not happy with the price, and we'll get into the price when we're done talking about all of these.
Yeah.
But
That too.
you know, the price is hopefully something that's going to be addressed moving forward. We'll see. But I like the look of this. I was actually going through my stuff over the weekend. I'm spring cleaning, trying to clean up and get the dust out of here. And I found my old Figure Arts Mando. Like, I've gotten a ton of Mandos, like in the box. I never opened them. I wasn't a big fan of the first Medicom Mandalorian. I didn't think it was put together very well. Mando 2.0 I thought was a big upgrade. That's really a deluxe figure. It's such a good figure. It's not perfect, but it's such a really good figure. Now this one, I think the cost of that cost of that 2.0 Mando was like 10,000 yen. And the cost of this one is 14,000 yen.
Yeah, it's the exclusivity, right?
So it's an exclusive. Again, you know, what is that actually going to mean, though? You know what I mean? Like, Ian's been to Project 1.6. They still have Webman. They still have the Dark Knight, Superman, and Batman silhouette figures. They're still there. What is it now? 3 years since those released, I think. And they still have them in the store. So they definitely overproduced them. I'm wondering whether or not they're going to learn from that situation and underproduce these. I don't know, but we'll see.
You'll have to ask one thing. Can you ask is where they'll sell them from? Because
well, that's the main question I'm going to ask. So are they going to have their own booth? Are they going to be in the store? Are they only going to be at this event? Will you be able to go to the Medicom stores and buy these? Now, Ian and I went to the newest Medicom store in Shibuya, which is called Medicom Next. And it's a very nice store. It's very big. It's very spacious. But they don't have a lot of products in there to buy. They have a ton of stuff, but they don't have a lot to buy. Will these be available at the different Medicom stores in Japan? If they are, you probably won't have that much difficulty getting them. But you have to understand that if you are buying these from the normal retailers you buy them from, you're not going to be able to get those discounts that you normally get. Like, you know, Hobby Genki or something normally offer like 15, 20% off on a pre-order. You ain't getting that. You're going to get a markup on these because they're not going to be able to get these for the wholesale price. They're going to be buying them just like anybody else. So if you are buying them from some of these Japanese retailers, you should expect to be paying, you know, $110, $115 because this is going for, I think it's like $97, $95, something like that with the conversion rate. Something like that. So, you know, they have to make a profit, right? They have to make some money on it. So they're going to tack a couple bucks on it. So, you know, these are going to be up there. They're definitely going to be up there. But this is a comparison between the 2.0 and the new one. So the 2.0 is on the right and the new one is on the left. And the first thing you can notice, it seems to me that the cape is shorter. So it does look like a different cape.
it might be that other cape was hooked onto the
It could be, but still,
Yeah.
you know, it's still on the side though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It kind of looks like it's another cape. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
I mean, it looks shorter. It's like shorter too.
Yeah, it looks a little bit shorter.
Well, on the Hot Toys, the normal Beskar one, the first Beskar has a really long cape, and then the shiny one has a very short cape. So it might have been the case of them realizing they made a mistake with the 2.0, and they've shortened the cape. Because with the Hot Toys, the Beskar, the shiny one is definitely shorter by quite a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe they have shortened the cape.
It's more
we'll see.
There's more weathering on the left knee.
On the which one?
The left knee.
On the left knee?
The blue knee, the knee pad.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
so-
there's definitely going to be different paint details on this. It's not only going to be the chrome, but yeah, that's a good look there, Jason. I didn't even notice that.
Some of the belt details too are a lot shinier.
Yeah, yeah. So the paint on the boots looks a little bit different. Looks darker on the right than on the left. But again, I mean, that could be lighting. Who knows?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see when it comes out. So this is just another look.
So much like my vow to never collect Star Wars again, I'm pretty sure I'll be getting this one.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like, all right, do I need another Mando? What could they possibly do to Mando? And a chrome at this scale is pretty great. So, I'm in on this. And I'm gonna try, like I said, if I can get more for the group, I will. I'll get them for the group, and whether that means the group or channel members, I'll try to hook people up. So I'll try to find out more information.
Just go and cosplay. If you go and cosplay, go cosplay. You should go wear different Stormtrooper outfits each time.
Yeah. But I have to wait in line. Like, that's the thing, right? And we'll see.
I might take my Jawa outfit, and then I can.
Well, see, you could pass. I'm tall. You could pass as a Japanese, kindergartner or something. I can't do that.
Hey, well, if Rob were to cosplay the Stormtrooper, he won't get that. You're a little too short to be a Stormtrooper line.
No, that's right. And we're going to get into that. So give me a moment now. We're going to get into that. Because I saw people talking about the Stormtroopers and some of their plans, and their plans aren't going to work. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But anybody have anything to add with the Mando before we move on?
No. I don't know if you guys know. So if it's like a convention, say if it's one per person, if I go 3 days, is it one per day, or is it one?
You technically have 3 tickets, right? So I don't see how they could stop you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, seeing how they do the chrome or the Beskar on this makes me wonder how they're going to be able to do with a Colossus or a Surfer. I'm real curious to see how well this comes out.
So this is exactly, Jason. Like this is a test run, isn't it?
Yeah, because it looks good to me, but it's tough to do, right?
Yeah. So got rid of the Black Series except for the OT stuff and the expanded universe. Yeah, hey man, thanks for joining. Thank you. Very good. I was on his El Profesoro. I was on the stream he had the other day, which is pretty fun. First time on it. So thanks for joining, man. Appreciate it.
Ooh, okay. I'll check that out.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about the Inot Batman, which I'm doing another stream tomorrow morning my time, so it'll be Monday night for you guys. We'll kind of talk about it. I'll show it in hand, and if anybody has any questions you want to ask about it out there in the universe, I think everybody here, except for Al, has one. So everybody who is currently here would be able to hopefully answer your questions. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that, man.
Yeah, it's all right. It was a gamble that didn't go my way this time, but I'm glad it went well for everyone else that picked up a ticket.
Yeah, Ian and I, we were talking, man. We should have bought multiple tickets.
Yeah.
We won't make that mistake again.
But hey, Al, you got the amazing Yamaguchi Batman. That's a game changer, right?
Oh my gosh, man. So yeah, not to get into it too much, but I finally opened up my amazing Yamaguchi Arkham Batman. I've had it sitting for about close to 2 months. decided to do a photo op with it last night. I was showing the guys here. As soon as I took it out of the box, it was the left arm was not connected to the left shoulder joint. It was just in the tray, separated, and I could not get it on. Try doing hot water, blow dryer. None of the tricks work, but I do have some. It's kind of like Kiki's. It's a different brand though, but I have some coming in tomorrow. Hopefully that will fix, because reading other people online that had the same issues, that fixed it for them. But I also emailed Hobby Genki, but I don't know if it's too late. It's been 2 months. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
it's been
late.
too long a time. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But either way, hopefully I can get it fixed tomorrow. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's terrible. These
If you might want to
man.
message Toyota. They're better. Their service is pretty good.
Yeah.
They switch things up pretty quickly, and they send parts out.
Okay.
So
Okay, yeah, I'll
Yeah,
give
but do
them a
they
try
do that
too.
internationally is the question.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, not sure.
Yeah. I mean, for the shot. Otherwise, I mean, I can kind of get it to work, but you can't really move it around. Like if you try to, once I pop it in, once you try to turn it, it just falls off. So we'll see if I can fix it tomorrow, though.
All right, now let's get into these guys. Now, I'll address one thing that I kind of hinted at. Some people said that they're just going to get the regular Stormtrooper and put like a Luke head on it or a Han head. Number one, look at the figures. They're different sizes, right?
Yeah.
It's movie accurate. So you're going to have Luke as shorter and Han as taller. If you have them both the same size, I mean, I guess it works for you if you want to save some money, but it's not particularly movie accurate. So I want my figures to be as movie accurate as possible. The Hot Toys were different sizes, which is great, but I think when it came to the Hasbro stuff, up until recently, they were kind of the same height, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think they were. Yeah. So these guys were, I woke up and I saw the posts on the group, in the chats, on Reddit. I was like, what is this? This is incredible. Now, I have been talking for months about those missing numbers, 256, 257, 258, or whatever it was, 257, 8, and 9, whatever it was. And I was theorizing, like, what is it going to be? Is it going to be a store exclusive? Is it going to be like a repaint? And out of nowhere, like Ian sent me a picture, maybe 2 weeks ago, that Medicom is actually going to be at Celebration. They hadn't announced it before. And they posted that they would be there. And, they've been planning this for a while, which someone else theorized helps explain all the delays possibly, because they had to get these guys out on time. So these guys took priority over everything else, because these have to be good to go in April, right? These are event exclusive. So, very welcome surprise, very happy. The price tag, again, 14,000 yen on both of these. And that's the same price as the Batman and the Flash that were also announced. Not liking the pricing at all. But the figures look great. So, we'll go through them. Jason, what's your take on these?
I dig them. They remind me of I think I've had variations of these for my multiple collecting rounds, but I really dig them, especially since they did the height right, which I don't think like you were saying, I don't think they've ever bothered to do that before. But yeah, I'm going to have to get both of these. They kind of remind me, I think I was saying earlier, of the old Kellogg's giveaway. I remember ailing away for these things.
Yeah, you got the Han and Stormtrooper from Fruit Loops.
Yeah, that's the one I had. So.
Yeah, and it's cool they give you both helmets, just like the other Stormtrooper that they're releasing, which is great.
Yes. Oh, I hadn't noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't just get one and change it. They do come with different accessories. I don't know if anybody cared to look at that, but they do. They do come with different accessories, different weapons for Han and Luke. So, Ian, what's your take on this?
Yeah, they look great. I'll try and pick these up for sure. Again, I wasn't thinking, I was never even considering buying any more Star Wars at this scale, but these look great, man. And the thing is, like the Han Solo Stormtrooper Hot Toys, that's one of my grails. Like, it's a figure I've never been able to get hold of. I've always been chasing. It's very hard to find. Oh yeah, you can give me if you want.
I could.
Is that what you're saying?
Definitely give it to you.
Right, and yeah, I don't know if they'll ever re-release that or if I'll ever find it anywhere. So this is, it's a nice alternative. These will look good on my desk, even at work, the two of them together. So I'm gonna pick these up. Yeah.
They really nailed Luke's hair for that particular scene.
Yeah, so you have to wonder, will they have different hair, because he's coming out of the trash compactor probably with this.
Yeah, it looks right on.
Yeah. Al, what's your take? You gonna get them?
So these are the two I want: the Star Wars exclusive Kaiju Daddy and Ian in Stormtrooper disguises. So these are the ones that I want. So, but again, I don't know if it's going to be easy to get, so I'm not going to stress too much on it. But seeing these, they can't let those head sculpts go to waste. I'm sure episode 4s are going to be coming out, or maybe at least announced soon within this year.
So what people seem to be kind of missing here is that they're going to have a presence at this thing. They are almost assuredly going to be showing off prototypes of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to wait till July to see what's in store from Medicom when it comes to Star Wars moving forward over the next 1 or 2 years, possibly even 3 years. I think they're going to go all in, all out on this stuff. So it's very exciting. I'm stoked to go to this event, just to see all the stuff that they're going to have. But so one comment here, they did make the Captain Phasma, but I think from my recollection that chrome was a more dull muted than what you're getting with this. The Phasma chrome wasn't anywhere near, from my memory. I have that figure kind of tucked away, but I don't think it was anywhere near as shiny as this particular figure. Does anybody have that MAFEX Captain Phasma?
No.
I don't have. I do. Yeah. No, I don't. I have a figure art one. I have figure arts. It's not MAFEX. Yeah.
I got the figure arts and I got the Phasma. I got the MAFEX. I got the MAFEX Phasma because it was taller, and I wanted to have a taller version of Phasma. Yeah. So that's why I picked up both.
From Google photos, the MAFEX does look really shiny, but
it is shiny. But I.
Oh, I
like
see
what
you mean.
And if you go to the Medicom store, if you go to Project 16, it's on display in the store. I don't believe it was this shiny.
It's not.
We could be wrong. Again, my eyes.
It looks different.
It looks more like a weathered.
Yeah.
It's a lot more weathered.
It's a duller chrome. That's all I'm getting at. Like it's not as pronounced as this one. But if you get like a Colossus or a Silver Surfer, you're really gonna want something that's peak chrome, peak shiny. So, this is a great test run on that. So let's get back to those figures. Yeah, I'm just really, really excited for these.
Yeah.
And one thing that we still haven't heard is, what are the Figuarts exclusives going to be? Mm-hmm. They're definitely gonna have something exclusive, right? So what do we think it's gonna be? What if it was the same figures? Wouldn't that be something? That would be crazy. But
I wish they'd hurry up with these announcements, man. It's like, I wake up every day and the first thing I check is the Hot Toys one. I want to know what the next thing is, and it's like they released a couple of lollipops, and then it was like, then there's nothing. It's gone quiet for like a good few days. It's like, just tell us.
Well, it was the weekend, so yeah. You've never seen these in figure form? Sideshow did it. Hasbro did it back in the day with their 12-inch, and they also did it in the Power of the Force line.
That's
They did it in the
I have
Black
those.
Series.
Yeah,
Is that-
I have those Power of the Force ones back in the Kenner ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Han is like really kind of like the first iteration. He's
Yeah,
goofy
yeah.
pose.
They were jacked too. They had barrel chests.
Yeah, they were jacked. They were like, you know, Motu.
Meatheads. They're like meatheads. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
and with the Hot Toys, right? They just reused the head from the
From the base.
Tatooine one, right? So it didn't really look right. Like it didn't, you know, it didn't look accurate to the movie. The Han was like a brand new head sculpt, but the other one was reused.
Yeah. So Just Jeff makes a good point, and it's something I was thinking about. I just kind of forgot to bring it up. I think these are just going to be the normal pegged heads. I don't think there's going to be anything different about these helmets.
Yeah.
That would require a lot of different tooling, and I don't think they're going to do that.
Plus, you don't want to risk scratching the Han and Luke sculpts as well.
Yeah. So they'll, you know,
They never sit
head
right.
off or whatnot.
Yeah, they never sit right when it's a freestanding helmet anyway. But yeah, you wouldn't want to scratch that paint up. Even Han's head sculpt here looks perfect for that particular scene.
Yeah.
Got that bit of sneer to him.
I think they did both of them really well. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that you can say about Medicom is they often get their heads pretty close to as close as you're gonna get in that scale. Up until you get to like customization or, you know, INOT 112 stuff. But yeah, these are pretty cool. I'm very happy. I'm very excited about them. So again, like what are we expecting in terms of exclusives for this event? I think we've mentioned Hot Toys. We have the Galen Urso. There's probably going to be at least two more. For Medicom now, we have 3 figures. For Figuarts, what do we think the Figuarts would be? I mean, they're teasing Grievous. They wouldn't make Grievous a show exclusive, would they?
No, definitely not.
No. Oh,
What do you
didn't they
think
just tease an X-wing pilot Luke? I thought they showed one.
They started kind of showing that again. Yeah, the Empire Strikes Back Hoth one.
There you go. Yeah, the Hoth one.
Yeah. But
So-
again, like, but that's the thing, like, and we have to think about this clearly. Like, these are not products that are made for outside Japan.
Mhm.
But you got to think as well. I think as well, like if it's an event exclusive, it's not always the case. But I wouldn't be surprised if they think about what's being showcased at this event. And there's going to be a lot of focus. The big focus is going to be Mandalorian and Grogu. So like you've got that. There is an Ahsoka panel, but that's not anything new that's coming out. And then there's the Andor. So we could get an Andor.
Sure.
You know, we
I
could
mean,
get something from Andor.
Maybe we'll get a Jabba.
Everyone's
Hasbro
still
did a
waiting for
Black
that.
Series Jabba exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I mean, we're still waiting to see. I mean, everyone still thinks Hot Toys is going to pull out either the Poe or the Andor figure.
Well, I said Poe because there's so many reasons why. It's the 10th year anniversary of Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac is there.
He's
You
there.
know, he's actually there at the show. They've got his head sculpt now. They've got the likeness to his
Yeah,
So
that's the biggest reason for me too. Yeah, I mean,
and they made a prototype. We've seen it. I've seen it at Comic-Con, like on display. So it exists.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that long delayed Death Star Commando with the panels.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
You know?
yeah, the
Like-
the little control center or
Is
whatever.
it Commando or Commander? Whatever. Like the name's always changing, but yeah, that one looked awesome. They've been displaying that at various events going back. I would say so they teased the Millennium Falcon cockpit years and years and years ago, and they were kind of touring that around the world. And that Death Star Commando was teased around the same time as that, because I remember going to an event in Shibuya at what was it, 109 Men's, and they had, that was when they were selling the Empire Strikes Back Vader, and they had that on display there, and they had the cockpit there as well, and like, you know, release the Jedi Starfighter, release the Millennium Falcon cockpit.
The
Stop
Starfighter,
giving us
dude,
Batmobiles. Give us
that thing
something
is
else.
huge. That Starfighter is huge.
No, not the N1, not the N1.
Oh,
The
not the
Jedi Starfighter.
Ah, Jedi Starfighter. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
the size
yeah.
of a tumbler. You know, they've released,
What about
they
the-
released the
they had-
regular tumbler, the camo tumbler, then they released the regular tumbler again. You can't release a Jedi Starfighter?
Didn't they have a TIE fighter on display a few times?
Yeah,
too?
they've had a TIE fighter, they've
Yeah.
had the TIE
Yeah,
Interceptor.
the TIE Interceptor. Yeah, that was
they've
my
had both.
favorite one, man. That was so beautiful, so good.
But that N1, that was next level. That was crazy.
The M1, yeah. I saw actually someone was like they had like a kind of they're asking people to vote which hot toy they thought was going to be showing, and someone, I think one of them was the M1. And I'm like, man, they're not going to be selling an M1 at the celebration.
Well, they'll have it there. They'll
They'll
have
have it there for sure because it's in
Yeah.
the country probably, but
Yeah.
they're not going to be selling that.
No, probably not.
And it kind of looked like a display piece. It was beautiful, but it didn't look like it had kind of moving parts and stuff. You know, it looked like it was made specifically for a display piece.
Well, it looked like the Mandalorian that was inside was specific to the cockpit
yeah.
because of the shape of them and getting them in there, definitely. But the base was a custom base, so it was made specifically for that, unlike the TIE Fighter, which looked like they just kind of put something together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, where's our Star Wars vehicles? Again, going back to Figuarts, and Ian and I were talking about this before, and I posted a picture in the Facebook group. We were talking about this during one of the last streams. Figuarts produced a cross section of the Millennium Falcon that could fit in the corner. And, you know, it's really cool. They can produce stuff for like Dragon Ball and Naruto and Kamen Rider. And they do all this stuff for other lines. Like, you know, you've already produced a prototype because you've sent it out to different stores for the displays that the stores had for the Figuarts Star Wars figures. Why can't you just produce that thing? People will buy it.
When they released their Vader, right? The Figuarts, they had the you got the exclusive backdrop, which is the diorama of the Return of the Jedi, the Super Star Destroyer room with that window, and everybody was after that, and it was a freebie. Like you got it free if you bought the Vader. I think it's if you bought the Vader and
that was the first release, the
first release, right?
Yeah.
But it's like everybody wanted it, but I'm like, why don't they just sell one of those?
Why don't they just sell it?
Why don't they? It's like everybody wants it. Why don't you just sell it? It's a piece of plastic, cost them nothing.
Well, I think it goes back to the people in Japan who run these companies. They're not running them because they're brilliant. They're running them because, you know, they put in the time and it's their turn.
But a lot of the Bandai stuff moved to the US, right? Because like the movie, that was annoying when the movie Realization stuff moved from Bandai Japan to Bandai US. And then they don't release them here. And then the markup is like, it's like 3 times the price that they used to be, right? It's like, it's insane. And, you know, they're releasing the same ones again, just like variants of the same characters.
Yeah.
And when they had them here, they were always bringing out something new. They were always a great price. All the time, yeah. And they moved them, I think, because there just wasn't, I don't know, maybe there wasn't the market for them here anymore.
So Figuarts did give us clone troopers. They gave us phase 1 clone troopers. And they gave it to us in different colors. Some of them were kind of exclusives. And some of them like web exclusive, or I think one of them might have even come with like a Blu-ray or a DVD pack. Was it the Medicom or was it the Figuarts that came with the? I think it was the Figuarts. The Death Trooper that came with the Rogue One box set. Do you remember this? Am I ringing a bell?
I got the Death Trooper as that was another event exclusive, right? It
So
wasn't.
the Death Trooper is from Rogue
Sorry.
One, the all black.
I'm talking about Shadow Trooper, just the black.
Yeah, not the Shadow Trooper, but the Dark Trooper. The Shadow Trooper was a web exclusive, and or it might have been at an event. You're right.
It was an event exclusive, event Comic-Con
or something.
Yeah.
But the Rogue One Blu-ray set, I think it was Blu-ray. You could buy like different tiers, and they do this with Godzilla, right? You can buy like this one or this one or this one, and if you get this one, it comes with like an exclusive Bandai Godzilla figure. They were doing this with the Figuarts Death Trooper, so they released one, and then they gave you a different version, which I think was like the deluxe one. So if you bought like the Blu-ray, which was like 10,000 yen, you could get the figure. And the Blu-ray was like this big set. But just buying the figure, if you got it regular, it was like 6,000 or 7,000 yen, the cost of the Figuarts at the time. So you were really buying this Blu-ray set for like 3,000 yen, which in reality, it probably should have cost like 7,000 or 8,000 yen alone. So it was a good value. It was a good deal. But it would be cool if they started doing that again. You know, like Figuarts, we talked about this on another stream. Figuarts, for one reason or another, they just stopped having an interest in the line.
Yeah.
Because they kept re-releasing the same figures. And it's cool to re-release the same figures once. But you don't have to do Darth Vader or Jedi Luke. You don't have to release them 5 times and ignore all these other figures, because that's what they were doing. And they weren't re-releasing like Chewbacca, which was something that people really wanted, or they weren't re-releasing Han Solo, which is something that people really wanted. And people's interest waned. You know, like all you're giving us are sequel trilogy figures, or you're re-releasing the figures that you've already re-released multiple times already. Where's the original trilogy stuff? Where's even the prequel stuff? The stuff that people had shown with their wallets that they were buying, and they just stopped doing it. And then you started seeing a serious decline in the quality on the head sculpts, on the engineering, on a lot of stuff. So then what was it? About 2 years ago, they re-released, who were the figures? They released the figure from each trilogy. So it was Rey, it was Obi-Wan, and it was, who was from the prequels? Anybody remember?
Qui-Gon? Are you talking about Qui-Gon?
No, it was before Qui-Gon. So these were just re-releases. The Qui-Gon was like a 1.5 with the Darth Maul. That was like a 1.5 version. Anybody remember?
I have no idea.
No.
So they released basically one figure from each trilogy to kind of, you know, get a feel of where people were at in terms of, you know, what was selling. And the prequel and the original trilogy stuff sold really, really well. Oh, it was Obi-Wan from the prequels. It was Farm Boy Luke, and it was Rey. That's what they did.
Okay.
And so the race sat and sat and sat. And so since then, all you've been seeing are prequel and a really original trilogy announcements and so on. And, you know, we were kind of mentioning it at the time, the fact that this is a great sign that they're going all in. It's a great time to be a Star Wars collector now. So I'm just really happy that they're finally getting around to it again.
Yeah, and it's good that it's just nice to see new stuff. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
just, like with the figure arts, the thing that was really annoying for me was I got all the first release ones, and then they released again, and they just got a better face. They've changed their hair color, and the hair's better. And it's like once you got the crappy first release, it's like you don't want to look at it anymore, and then you can't get rid of it because everybody wants a newer version.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice that they're bringing out newer things.
Now, Jason, do you have Figuarts, Star Wars guys?
Yeah. Again,
the newer stuff or the older stuff too?
I vowed never to collect it again, and I've got 2 shelves full. So yeah, I've done. I haven't collected any from the newer the sequels, but yeah, I've got original trilogy and the prequels.
Okay. And Al, you're collecting 112 Stealth, right?
So yeah, so this is all going to be fairly new to me with the import Star Wars stuff, minus Hot Toys and whatnot. Because when Figuarts was doing their thing, I wasn't really doing 112 at the time. So I do have a lot of the newer stuff on pre-order, just waiting for that invoice with Ami Ami, the Han, Chewbacca, Anakin, Yoda. Those are going to be coming in. And also, actually, just on a side note, the Bandai model kits are awesome. I have one of the clones. For anyone that's looking to like army build, either Stormtroopers or Troopers, these model kits are nice. It takes about maybe an hour to put together. They actually also come with the Phase 1 and 2 helmets, but yeah, these are nice. But yeah,
It's
I'm
funny
looking
because
forward to
I got 2 boxes right over here that I picked up for Al. They're the model kits, and it's these guys.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh,
Han
see, that's it.
and the Stormtrooper gear.
So if I don't get these exclusives, I won't be too sad. Just because.
Yeah, because you'll have those.
The only problem you have
Yeah.
to worry about with the model kits is the fact, like, if you buy a Stormtrooper, it looks good. Like, for example, I got the first order Stormtrooper, it looked good. The problem is if you get the head sculpts, they're not painted, so it looks bad. It looks super cheap, like it needs to be painted. And it's the same, like, I had the Boba Fett, and the Boba Fett, because a lot of his stuff is material, it just doesn't look good unless it's painted. And they're meant to be. They're meant to be painted. I mean, I went through my cupboard and I pulled a load out. I had like first order guys. I had the Boba Fett. I had some others, and I threw them away. And then I realized that people are actually selling them online, made for a decent price. But it's just because like I just couldn't be bothered, painting them. And I mean that's why I've got all these model kits here trying to sell them. The ones that I had already made. I ended up throwing some of them away. I've kept a couple of them. But it's just like the amount of time and effort it takes to paint them. Making them is so much fun. It's really, really fun. It's a nice stress reliever. But you do have to you have to be very specific with the ones you pick. Like C-3PO, you don't have to paint. I weathered it a little, but it looks great straight out of the box. But some of them you really do have to, add some texture to them and add some paint to them.
Yeah, I didn't put any of the stickers on. Guy, there's like a few little details, but I was like, yeah, too much work. But I know what you mean though. But yeah, I was actually also going to try weathering it a bit too, because I mean, it looks like too perfect, if you know what I mean.
Little dry brush.
It's really cool weathering kits. It's like a makeup brush, and you kind of put it on. Like I bought a few of them, and I did it with my Scout Troop, and it turns out really well. And then you just put a clear spray. Oh, those, they're great. They're really good.
I bought these and I still haven't used it yet, but I do have a couple of them waiting to go.
They're so easy to use. Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
All right. Any last comments on these guys?
Just hoping I can get them.
Yeah. Seriously.
Okay, so I'll just reiterate one more time. We don't know what the numbers will be on these. We don't know if they'll be available in the Medicom stores after the event. I'm going to go to Project 16 this week, and I'm going to try to ask some of the nicer people that work there if they've got any info on it. They probably don't. But as we get closer to the event, either Medicom will make an announcement about it, or the people in the store will have some sort of indication whether or not these will be available after in the store. So it really just comes down to the numbers, right? So if they're producing 1,500 of these, it's quite possible that they're going to sell out at the event. If they're producing more than that, maybe some are left over and they go up for sale at the store. It's also quite possible that they produce a second batch, a second run, and they make it available at the store later on. So we'll see. It could be that the packaging is different, and that's the only difference. And maybe they make these available to everybody later on. Who knows? We don't know. So, time will tell, but we're going to try to get to the bottom of it. We're going to try to let people know. I'm going to try to pick up more. I don't know whether I can or not. Ian's going to try to pick up more. He doesn't know whether he can or not. When I went to the Medicom event in July that they have every July, you can buy figures there, and they had a Bane and they had like a Wolverine. Again, mind you, this is a year ago. So those figures were very, very much in demand. They still are, but they were really in demand then. That Bane sold out fairly quickly. And the Wolverine, of course, sold out quickly. But you could only buy one at the Medicom event. One per person, one per customer. So, you know, there is a little bit of precedent there to kind of go by in terms of them limiting the number that people can buy. So just keep that in mind. If I can get more, if Ian can get more, we'll try to make them available to people in the group. So, you know, make sure you're a member of the group. That'll be really the only place that I think we're going to try to make these available. So, yeah, so just stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned. And
Hot Toys have just announced their new item.
Yeah,
are you
Cos
joking?
Baby.
Are you messing with us?
Seriously, it's a Cos Baby. Well,
Nah,
it's six Cos Babies.
What's with their numbering
Six
system
Cos Babies?
For these announcements? They like skip like boxes. They're like all over the
Yeah,
place.
it's not going in order. Yeah.
Breaking news! Breaking news! Cos Baby!
Cos Baby it is.
Damn.
Oh, man. But, you know, I mean, if they space out their announcements, it generates more hype, right?
Yeah.
So
I
we
mean,
still
that's why
have-
they put him
still
in
have a
strange
while.
numbers. Like the Cos Baby's number 14, but they haven't done
Yeah,
2 to
that's-
5 yet. So it's
Yeah.
That's the one that's weird to me. It's just they're jumping around that like event box or whatever they call it.
Well, that should tell you that they're going to do more 1/6 stuff.
yeah,
Because they're not going to randomly have it all spaced out. That's not how they do it.
Yeah.
They keep everything together.
Well, the two
Like I
at the
said-
top, we've got a 1/6 and we've got 1/6 magnet. So it could be the whole top row could be 1/6 related.
Yeah,
Which
or
would
movie
be-
masterpiece series related, right? Like that,
Yeah.
that whole genre. Yeah. Hopefully you don't get any more Mando stuff, though.
Well, to be honest,
I
like
mean-
if they announce more Hot Toys, if there's 3 Hot Toys, I might have to skip the MAFEX stuff, man. Like MAFEX, like three of these will cost a Hot Toy.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I need all the
Well,
Hot
that's the
Toys.
thing, you know, you only got so much money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can only bring so much home before your wife cuts your head off.
That's true.
There's
So.
that. Yeah.
We won't say which head, but your head's gonna go. So, but you know, there's a lot going on. There's so much going on, and remember, I'll be doing the other live stream tonight. We'll be talking about this guy. I think everybody but Al has him. Let me just expand it. It's a great figure. It's a game changer. We'll talk about why. But you know, it's incredible. I'm trying to get a hold of Inot now to get hopefully some information on how many more figures they plan on dropping this year. What's the price point probably going to be? Are there going to be other deluxes? Are they going to be, you know, are they all going to be the same release? It'll be good to know. So when I get that info, if I get that info, I'll definitely pass it on, and we'll talk about how hopefully people can get these. So if you don't know, in the Facebook group, we are waffling off a deluxe version. The deluxe is the one with the head sculpt, and the base and the stand for posing. So weren't they doing a Ben Affleck Bats from the Flash? That's the who? Are we talking about Inot, or are we talking about Medicom? Because Medicom just announced their Batman
Today. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Flash. So I didn't really think we had to talk about them. I was just kind of keeping this to the Star Wars Celebration stuff. Inot? No, they had a Arkham Knight Batman, which is really cool looking.
Looks great.
But they didn't have a Ben Affleck one. No, I'm correct in that, right, Ian? They didn't have one on.
They had like a one.
They had a
scale
statue. That was a statue. Yeah.
The statue.
Yeah. I think that Ben Affleck Flash design is pretty much dead. Like, seems like no one's even doing it. Hot Toys couldn't even get the actual Ben Affleck face. So
yeah,
I don't know what's going on with that license.
Swappable, right?
Well, yeah, I guess people were putting the faceplates from like the tactical suit Batman. I guess.
Well, they said you could. They said, like, Hot Toys said you could. They made an announcement.
I don't know.
Yeah, they made an announcement that you could swap the mouthpieces out.
Okay.
So yeah, so Hot Toys made it so that people could do that. So all right, well, we'll end it there. Thanks everybody for joining. Again, we'll be doing the INOT live stream. That'll be tomorrow morning for those of us in Japan. Ian, you gonna join that or no?
No, sorry guys, I can't. I'll be working.
You'll be working.
Yeah, some side work. Gotta make money.
Yeah.
A celebration.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Hopefully we'll be talking again in a few hours. So take care, everybody. Be good, be safe, and see you all next time.
All right. See you guys soon.